So today I'm going to show you guys how to go from this to something like this. Alright, so first things first, you want to find yourself a shift boot and a shift knob from a newer generation Lexus that's going to work here. And what you're going to want to do is take your factory shift knob off and then grab a pick or something like this to take this cover piece off. And what you want to make sure your emergency brake is set. Press this down and then put this to driver neutral, and then lift this up and take a trim tool like this with your center console lid open. Just pry in on the sides, lift it up like that. And the same on this side. Once you have those up, it should come out like that. Once you have it lifted off like this, you're going to find two connectors, one for your cigarette lighter and one for that shifter light that goes right here. Once you have it removed, it should look something like this. And like that. And then the next part, there really isn't any science to it or really any really true measurements. All I really did was just put it down like that and just kind of measure it off with that. One thing to note is that there is a lip, so down here it is a bit wider than it is up here. So if you are going to measure it to cut it, measure it up here so that when you put it in, the hole's not going to be too big. All right, with the center console turned over, you're going to want to get this the shift housing light right there, that wiring, you want to get it out. So just pull it out and unroute it. And then what you're going to want to do is undo these two Phillips head screws right here. That's going to hold this assembly together. And you're going to want to remove this part. All right, with those two screws removed, this whole piece should just come out like that. Now we'll work on this part and cutting it. So what I did for mine, since I really don't care about this light right here, what you choose to do on your car is up to you. But what I just chose to do is just to remove the wiring for that light altogether, just because I think it's easier that way. And then what you're going to want to do next is turn it over. And I already undid these clips. They're these ones right here. There's 4 of them total. Once you get those removed, just lift it up. This whole piece should come out like this. And then when you're gonna go and cut it, what you're gonna want to do is cut this piece off right here completely, and the same on this side right here. So in my car, what I did was I just made 2 straight cuts, one along right here on this line on this silver trim piece, and another one right here. And you're gonna have to trim this piece a little bit, but once you get those 2 cuts made, the shift boot should fit pretty nicely. So there you go. That's how I'm gonna cut mine. And all you're gonna need are just basically these 2 side pieces right here. And once you have those, the cutting is pretty much done. All right, so once you have your 3 pieces cut, you should have this piece, this little piece right here for your gear selector if it locks out, and then this other piece, which is that side piece. And what you're going to do now is bring your center console back, and what you're going to do is put some double-sided tape along this side with the clips on it. Basically just line it up here. Push that into place right there. Now that piece should be on there. Turn it around. You're going to take your gear selector, put it over here so that these holes line up again. You're gonna put those 2 Phillips screws that we took out earlier, you're gonna put those back in there. Now, you should have something like this, where this is held in like that, and this is held with a double-sided tape. Now what you're gonna do is take your shift knob, your shift boot, sorry, take that, and you're gonna pull it up through that hole. Now if you cut it correctly, you should have just a little bit of gap down here, which is fine. I mean, it's not gonna go anywhere, it's not gonna do anything. And on the underside, that lip I was talking about should be able to catch on this and that bottom trim piece right there. So you can't pull this shift boot up any higher than that. Next, you're gonna want to connect your cigarette lighter back, and I didn't use the shift light, so that one's just gonna stay blank. What you want to do is feed this through the hole on your shift knob, your shift boot, and put your center console back together. If you did close your center console lid, open it back up to put your center console trim back in place. All right, it should look something like this now. And then grab your little trim piece for the gear selector. If it locks out, grab it, put it in, and it should flow seamlessly like that. And I find it easier if you leave it in neutral and then you put your shift knob on. So then grab your shift knob and screw it on. Once you've tightened it to where it won't turn or is pretty stiff without turning it, just take your boot and just snap it up like that, and it's done. Hope you guys enjoy it. I know it's a simple little thing to do, but I find it pretty elegant looking, and that's why I did it. Hopefully this video helps you guys do it as well. And yeah, good luck, and let me know how it goes for you guys. Thanks.